They said the walls were closing in, that it was only a matter of time. For months, whispers turned to headlines, and headlines turned into what felt like a relentless public trial. Accusations flew, footage leaked, and speculation spread like wildfire. The media circus had one name at its center, Sean Diddy Combs. And then, in a twist few saw coming, the grand jury rendered its verdict, not guilty. Was it justice served or a system failing the truth? What really happened behind closed doors? And how did one of the most powerful figures in entertainment walk away a free man? We're breaking it all down in this video. The case, the evidence, the turning points, and the aftermath. But before we dive in, a quick reminder, if you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Over 90% of our viewers watch. Without subscribing, it costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. Already subscribed, thank you. You're the reason we keep going. Now, let's unpack this shocking verdict. Sean Combs, known globally as P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, or simply Diddy, has been a towering figure in hip-hop and pop culture for nearly 3 decades. Music mogul, entrepreneur, fashion icon, and cultural influencer. He's built an empire few can rival. But in late 2024, his world began to unravel. What began as quiet murmurs of misconduct ballooned into full-blown federal investigations. Allegations spanning years emerged. Civil lawsuits, criminal probes, and federal raids painted a damning picture. Combs, once untouchable, found himself at the center of a legal and public firestorm. Then came the grand jury indictment. The charges were serious: conspiracy, trafficking, and abuse. The internet lit up. Supporters rallied behind him, while critics declared his downfall was inevitable. The entertainment world held its breath. But today, we know how that story concluded. Diddy is a free man, and the journey to that verdict is filled with twists, questions, and revelations that demand a closer look. Let's rewind the clock. The first domino fell when a former employee filed a civil suit, claiming years of misconduct within Diddy's inner circle. This quickly triggered more women and a few men to come forward, each with harrowing tales of exploitation, coercion, and intimidation. Suddenly, Diddy wasn't just a music mogul, he was the alleged mastermind behind a decades-long pattern of abuse. In March 2025, federal agents executed surprise raids on 2 of Diddy's properties in Los Angeles and Miami. Footage of agents storming his residences went viral. The optics were undeniable. This wasn't just a tabloid scandal anymore, it was real. Documents were seized, computers taken, and insiders were subpoenaed. The feds were serious. Yet as the weeks turned into months, something became clear. Despite the drama, the case was far from airtight. When the grand jury convened, many expected a swift indictment. But sources inside the legal process began whispering doubts. Lack of concrete evidence. Much of the case relied on testimony, not physical proof. Credibility issues. Several key witnesses had conflicting timelines and questionable motives. Aggressive defense. Diddy's legal team, rumored to be costing millions per month, dismantled claims with surgical precision. One by one, the pillars of the prosecution began to shake. It was a media frenzy. Every outlet ran hourly updates. Talk shows debated his guilt. Memes, TikToks, and YouTube breakdowns added fuel to the fire. But something else happened too. The court of public opinion began to split. Some saw him as a predator cloaked in power. Others saw a black icon being systematically torn down. The day of the verdict was surreal. Courtroom packed, reporters jostling for position, fans and critics lining the sidewalks. Diddy, flanked by lawyers and bodyguards, walked in with a look that many described as calm but unreadable. When the foreperson read, "Not guilty on all counts," a collective gasp echoed. Some cried, others shouted in disbelief. Diddy? He closed his eyes for a moment, breathed and nodded. Outside, chaos. His supporters chanted. Protesters screamed. Social media exploded. Within minutes, Diddy's verdict was trending worldwide. In one moment, he went from potential felon to vindicated icon. But what did the jury see that the world didn't? According to insiders, the turning point was a bombshell revelation. One of the key witnesses had fabricated emails and text messages. Once exposed, it cast doubt on the rest of the prosecution's case. Jurors later admitted that while they believed something happened, the legal threshold for conviction wasn't met. In America, it's innocent until proven guilty, and proof in this case was lacking. While the legal battle may be over, the court of public opinion rages, and several sponsors have not reinstated their partnerships. Streaming platforms are split. Some quietly unbanned his music, others are holding firm. The entertainment world is divided. Some celebrities like 50 Cent and Cardi B have voiced support, citing systemic targeting of black men in power. Others, including former collaborators, remain silent or distanced. Diddy's case is just one in a series of high-profile celebrity legal dramas. From R. Kelly to Harvey Weinstein, the entertainment industry is reckoning with its own shadows. But unlike others, Diddy walked free. Does that speak to innocence, wealth, or both? In a carefully worded video message, Diddy thanked his legal team, family, and those who stood by truth. He never admitted to wrongdoing, but acknowledged mistakes of the past. He vowed to focus on healing, growth, and giving back. It's important to note, while cleared of criminal charges, Diddy still faces multiple civil suits. The bar for liability is lower in civil court. Settlements or rulings could still impact his empire. So where does this leave us? Sean Diddy Combs is by law a free and innocent man. The grand jury said the evidence didn't hold. But for many, questions remain. Was this a true victory for justice or a failure to hold the powerful accountable? In the days following the verdict, the ripple effects continued. Newsrooms scrambled to update headlines. Legal analysts offered hour-long specials dissecting the case, pointing out both the weaknesses in the prosecution and the strategic brilliance of Diddy's defense. Diddy's legal team, led by some of the most high-profile attorneys in the country, held a brief press conference. They didn't gloat. They didn't condemn. They simply reiterated their stance from day one, that Diddy was innocent and the truth had prevailed. Yet the truth, as always, is layered. Meanwhile, former associates began speaking out. Some came forward in support, saying they had never seen or experienced any inappropriate behavior. Others hinted that the culture around Diddy's empire was intense, secretive, and hard to navigate. No direct accusations, but not full vindication either. Shades of gray. On social media, the debate raged. Supporters used hashtags like #ChooJusticeServed and Free Diddy to celebrate the verdict. Critics used Believe Victims and Accountability now to express their disappointment. Influencers, podcasters, and cultural commentators weighed in, framing the verdict within larger societal themes: race, wealth, gender, and power. Music fans were divided. Some started streaming his discography in solidarity. Others created playlists that removed his contributions. Spotify and Apple Music quietly added his songs back into algorithmic rotations, but without fanfare. The industry is always watching, always calculating. In the business world, Diddy's brands are in recovery mode. Sean John, his fashion line, has reportedly seen a slight uptick in online searches and sales. His liquor brand, once in hot water, is slowly re-entering conversation. But full corporate rehabilitation? That's still a question mark. Brand managers know that reputations are hard to build, and even harder to rebuild. Perhaps the most telling moment came a week later when Diddy returned to social media, not with a statement, but with a video, a short cinematic clip showing him walking alone on a beach at sunrise. No words, just visuals and music. A man walking forward away from the camera as waves crash nearby. The caption read, "A new chapter begins." Interpret that however you like. Was it defiance? Humility? A PR move? Only time will tell. But one thing's certain, Diddy's story isn't over. This moment, this verdict, is a turning point, not an end. He remains a cultural force, polarizing yet magnetic, wrapped in both legacy and controversy.